Welcome everyone to this channel, Geeks for Geek School, and I am your mentor 𝙎𝙤𝙙𝙀𝙤𝙀. So today we are going to shoot the last lecture of WebLab, and before moving on to the project, I would like to tell you about a contest which Geeks for Geeks in association with Give India has come up with, in which anyone can participate and help those people who are in need for free. So you can participate, you can register yourself for this contest free of cost. You just have to come over here on this page using this link practice.geeksforgeeks.org/contest/code to contribute. So when you will type this in the URL part of the browser, this is the web page you are going to come across. So you can make use of this login to register option available to you guys on this web page for getting yourself registered for this beautiful contest. Now for every participant who ends in top 50, Geeks for Geeks in association with Give India is going to donate a week's meal to a family who is in need. Besides that, you are also going to get a participation certificate. So there will be 4 questions you are going to get in this in the paper, and then the contest is of 100 marks. The paper is going to be of 100 marks, and it will start on May 8 at 7:30 and will end up on 8th May on the very same day at 9 p.m. Fine, there will be some negative marking also, as you can see over here. Point number 3, which is mentioned in this instructions part. So there is a 5% penalty for each wrong submission, right? And there is everything which you can find related to the contest on this web page. So before registering yourself for this contest, I would like you guys to go through the instructions first. After that, you can register yourself for this contest and help the people who are in need. Fine, let's move on to the project that we are going to develop today using the basic features of WebLab. So this is what we are going to design today. It's the pagination thing. You are able to see right in the bottom. Right, when I am putting my cursor on any of these numbers, what is happening? The background color is changing, right? And then there is a next button with which we can get redirected on the next page. Fine, and by default the background color of this 5 is green, right? Okay, and then there is some sample text which is getting reflected right in the middle. So that's what we are going to design today. It's called pagination, which you guys can make use of for making your website look more appealing and interesting. Fine, and you can also make use of this pagination thing for connecting different pages you have on your website. Right, so let's dive into that code.org environment. And the first thing that I need to do is I need to access my dashboard. So this is the ID. I have created my dashboard with. Okay, and for accessing the WebLab, we need to hit this create button. Automatically, this is the cascading menu which is going to appear. Now you can hit this view all projects, which is going to redirect you on another beautiful web page of code.org environment. Then for accessing the WebLab, you just have to hit this view full list option. That's what you're going to come across. Now let's hit this WebLab option and access the beautiful environment on which we can define the HTML and CSS coding, right? So by the time the environment is getting loaded, I would like to tell you something related to the tomorrow's session. So from tomorrow onwards, we are going to begin with Thumbcable. So if you guys are interested in learning Thumbcable platform, you guys can attend the lecture in between 8 to 9. I will be giving you the lecture. In case you come across any issue, right, related to anything, whatever will be explained to you guys in the online class, so you can contact me using the comment section. Just put your comment in the comment section, and I will try to revert as soon as possible. So this is the environment. Let's rename the project first. So we just have to hit that rename button, and now we can put a name for our project. So I would like to have this name Pagination. Let's save it. Okay, let's now begin defining the HTML code first. Right now, the first thing that we are able to see right on the top of this web page is Geeks for Geeks. So it's a text, right? How can we get it on this stage area? In the same way, it is getting reflected over here on this web page. So for doing that, we can make use of this h1 tag, of course, and we have already copied this text, so that's the reason I pasted it over here. Fine. So I made use of copy paste technique, and this is how you can get the text over here on the stage area, right? Now the second thing that we have is this text, which is saying a computer science portal for geeks. Let's copy this text, and I am going to make use of paragraph tags for defining it on the stage area. Okay, I made some mistake over here. Right, now it is perfectly fine. Okay, now what else do we have over here? So we have this rectangular box in which we have some content which is aligned in the center inside this box. So what we can do for getting this kind of view, we guys can first define a division section individually for this particular thing, and I would like to define a class also for this division section, which I will be making use of for customizing the appearance of the box. So let's have a class with name content. Then we can close this division section over here. Great. Okay, so the first thing that we have is this interview experiences. Let's copy this text and place it over here in between these h3 tags. Fine, so the interview experiences is now getting reflected over here. Besides that, we have an article based on this interview experiences getting reflected right below this heading. So what I am doing, I am copying this whole thing using Control and C together. Fine, just a second, let me, yeah. So inside this division section, now I am going to make use of this article tag, which is again a container tag, right? So that is the reason we need to define the end tag also for this particular element. And let's paste everything in between this article tag. So that's what you will get to see finally on the stage area. Fine. Okay, we are good to go till this point. Now we have one more thing, this pagination thing, which is getting reflected in the left side, right in the bottom of this web page. So for this part, what we can do, we can have another division section, the way we have defined a division section with class name content for this particular part. In the same way, we can define another division section for that pagination part. So let's make use of this division tag, and I'm going to make use of this class named, let's say, pagination underscore section. I think this is good. This sounds good. Let's close the division section because it is a container tag. So that's the reason we need to define the end element also. Okay. Now, what is happening over here? If I am bringing my cursor or any of these items which are there inside this section, so the background color is changing and the cursor is also changing, right? So what we can do, in order to get this effect, the HTML code that we can make use of is, let's make use of anchor tag, right, which has the capability of converting any text into a hyperlink. So href, I don't want the user to get redirected on any other page. That is the reason passing this hashtag as a value for this href attribute. So the first thing is previous, right? Let's close this anchor tag. Okay. Now I am going to copy this and place it over here. For this second one, I would like to have a title too. So let's have a title. How about with name, let's say algorithm. So if the user will hit 1, I would like him to get redirected on some page named algorithm. If you have any such page, you can link it. You can place the URL of that page over here in between these double inverted commas, and automatically when the user will hit the 1 over here, he will get redirected on that page, the URL of which you will place over here in between these two double inverted commas, right? So besides href, it's a good way of understanding the code if you are placing this title tag also, title attribute also, right, and you are defining a specific value for this title attribute. So for any user, it will be very easy to understand this whole code to which page this one is going to redirect that user. Now suppose the third thing is this number 2, right? So for this one, I would like to change the title. Let's change it to data structure. Okay, fine. And then let me just run this on a bigger window and show you the output of the code that I have defined till now in the web lab. So this is what you are going to come across after defining this whole thing over here in this workspace of web lab. Okay, and if you'll hit this 2, 1, previous, nothing is happening. Why nothing is happening? Because we haven't connected these pages to any other page, right? We haven't connected this main page to any other page. That is the reason nothing is happening. If you want to define a specific title for this web page, what you can do, you can come up and in between these head tags, you can make use of this title thing. Let's define a title with name Pagination. Let's close this in between the title tag. Now I'm going to make use of this link again for accessing the result. So now the title is Pagination, right? Okay, so that's how you can change the title of the page, right? Let's copy this whole thing and place it over here. So now the title for this 3, I would like it to be languages. Then we can again repeat the same thing for 4, and for this one I would like to have interview. I think these are some good topics, right? Okay, and let's copy this whole thing and place it over here. So for this 5, I would like to have, sorry, how many numbers are there? Just a second, let me verify that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 5 numbers, and there are 2 more things placed in the extreme end of this list, which is previous and next, right? So what we can do, we can come down over here, and for this number 5, let's have a class with name active. Okay, and besides this, let's copy this whole thing, and I would like to place it over here. Then we have uh, next, right after 5 we have next on the main page. So next I have defined over here in place of 5. We are done with defining the required HTML code now, and when you will check out the output on a bigger window, that's what you will get to see as a final output. So all the elements are currently visible to us on this beautiful web page. The title, the title is also getting reflected right on the top of this page. The company's name is there. Then this whole thing is there. Besides, these pagination components are also present over here. Let's now define the required cascading style sheet code for customizing the appearance of these components, for which we have defined this HTML code. But before that, I would like to tell the students who have just joined in about the contest which 𝙃𝙤𝙡𝙦𝙤𝙦 in association with Give India has come up with. So this contest is free of cost, and you guys can participate in this contest just by accessing this web page and hitting this login to register button, and for getting yourself registered. Fine, and there are going to be 4 questions which you will be, paper is going to be of 100 marks, and the contest will start on 8th of May at 7:30, and it will end up on the very same day at 9 p.m. Participant who ends up in top 50, Geeks for Geeks in association with Give India, is going to donate a week's meal for family in need. Also, you will be awarded with a personalized certificate. Fine. So on this web page you will be able to see all the instructions also, which you have to go through before attempting the question paper. So there is going to be some negative marking also. So there is 5% penalty for each wrong submission. Right. So you guys can go through this information given on this web page. Now how to access this page? Just type practice.geeks4geeks.org/contest/code to contribute, and it will redirect you on this beautiful web page where you will be able to find this login to register button, which you guys can make use of for getting yourself registered for this contest. Also, there is every information you need to know about the contest present on this web page. So make sure you have gone through each and every point which is written on this web page before attempting the paper. Fine. Okay, let's move back on the coding part. So let's go on this style.css file and eliminate everything whatever is there. Okay, so the first thing that I would like to do is let's style up the h1 tag, which we guys have made use of for this Geeks for Geeks. Right, so I would like the color of the text should be green. So that's how you can change the fore color of this text. Okay, it is now in green, and let's align it in the center. So for doing that, we can make use of this text align property. You guys very well know about it, and as you can see, it is now aligned in the center. It is now getting reflected right in the center of the web page. Okay, so what else can we do? See, we have defined some classes for the division sections we have defined over here on this HTML document. So we defined this pagination section named class for this division section, in which we have all the anchor tags for these components. So what we can do for accessing that class, we guys can put a dot. After that, we can write down the name of the class. Pagination underscore section is the name of the class we have defined for this division section. If you want, you can have a class name of your own choice. Okay, it is not mandatory to have this name only. You can make use of any name, whatever name you want to give to the class of this division section. You can make use of that class. You can make use of that name. So I would like to first define the position of the content we have inside the division section having this class name pagination underscore section. So I would like it to be absolute. Okay, fine. So as you can see, we are able to see the changes getting reflected on the stage area. Let's now define something for the top attribute. I would like to have 500 pixels of distance of this particular thing from the topmost content, right? So now this is where you will be able to see the pagination content getting reflected. Let me show it to you on a bigger window. Right, so now this previous 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and this next are getting reflected over here. Right, so that's what you can do with the help of this top attribute. Okay, now we can define something for the right. Let's make it 230 pixels. So it is going to shift it in the right side. See, all the components have now shifted to the right side, on the right side of this window. Okay, so that's what you can do with the help of this right attribute. You want to align your text in the center, so you can do that too. Now this is what you will get to see as an output finally. Okay, great. Now I would like to customize the appearance of all the anchor tags we have in the division section, for which the class name is pagination underscore section. For doing that, what we can do, we can make use of this class name. We can place it over here just after this curly braces, and we can place this A over here. Now how the environment is going to read this code, it is going to read it like this. Everything whatever the developer has defined in between these two curly brackets will be applied on all the anchor tags which are there inside the division section, for which the class name is pagination underscore section. Right, so the first thing that I would like to do is, let's have the text color of these components as black. That's how you can change the color of the text of these components. You want to see some gap in between these components, so you can make use of this padding property, and let's pass 10 pixels, 18 pixels. So now this is what you will get to see as an output. Let me refresh this web page. Okay, so now we are able to see some gap in between these components over here, right? On this web page that we are designing, there is no underline below these components. Now how can we remove this underline which we are able to see below all these components over here? For doing that, we can make use of text decoration, right? And let's pass this value none for the text decoration. Okay, so now when you will access this on a bigger window, this is what you'll get to see as an output. The underline is no more visible to us. It's just because we have passed this value none for the text decoration field or attribute, right? Okay, now what is happening when I'm bringing my cursor over any of these components? The background color is changing, right? The background color is changing. Now how can we do that? So what we can do, for the first thing that we have to do is we need to access the anchor tags, because this is the tag we have made use of for defining these components which are getting reflected right in the bottom. Okay, and let's have this hover property. Okay, and then you want to change the background color, so you can make use of this background color property. Let's select a relevant color from this beautiful cascading menu. Fine, let's have this dark blue. I think this is going to be a good option. Okay, now if I will bring my cursor over any of these components, let's see what is going to happen. So the background color is changing, right? But you know what is happening? The way when I'm bringing my cursor over any of these icons, the background color is changing. However, the foreground color of the text is also changing from black to white, right? That is the reason these components are more visible to us right now when we are placing the cursor over them. However, when we are placing the cursor over these things, the background color is changing. But the components we are not able to see just because the foreground color, the color of the text is black. So in order to change the color, we can make use of this color property. Let's change it to white. Now every time you will bring your cursor over any of these components, the background color of these components will change, and also the fore color of the text will change from black to white. See, so that's what you will get to see as an output finally. Okay, let's shrink the size of this window. Now there is one thing we have defined over here. For this 5, we have this class named active, right? Besides that, initially when the user will come on this particular page, so in this pagination section, the background color of this 5 is going to be green, right? He will see the background color of this 5 as green. Now how can we get this kind of output? So we guys can make use of this class named active for getting this kind of output. Let's do that. How to access this class? So we can put it like this, dot active. Fine, and let's copy this whole background color thing and paste it over here like this. Fine, and then we can have a color, this green color. I think dark green is going to give us a good output. So yes, that's how you can get the required output. Now initially when you will access this web page on a bigger window, so this is what you will get to see as an output. Fine, the background color of this 5 is going to be green initially. However, when you will place the cursor on this 5, it will change. The background color of this 5 will change to blue, and the foreground color of the text will change to white from black, right? So that's how you can make this happen. Let me go back on the web lab environment. Okay, now we have this class named content for this division section. Let's now make use of this class name for customizing the appearance of this content we have inside this division section. So what we can do, we guys can place a dot first, and then that's how we can access the content class, right? And the first thing I would like to do is I would like to align the content in the center of the window. Then let's have some margin in the left side. So I would like to have a margin of 20%. I think this is going to give us a correct output. So that's what you will get to see as an output right now. Fine, and then let's have some padding too. So padding is going to be, let's have 15 pixels padding. And then what is the width you would like to have for this content division section? I would like to have a width of 700 pixels. I think this is a good option. I have selected. Let's check out the output on a bigger window. Right, so that's what you will get to see after defining this thing. Okay, and then if you want to define some height for this section, you can make use of this height attribute. Let's have this 200 pixels of height. Now there is a border also which is getting reflected over here for this particular section. How can we get this kind of border? We can make use of this border property. Let's have a border of 2 pixels. Now I would like to have a solid border. That is the reason passing this solid as a value for this border property. And what is the color of the border? It is black in color. So for getting a black border, you can define this black color like this. Now when you will access this web page on a bigger window, with the help of this link, you are going to get, after hitting the share option, this is what you will get to see finally. Okay, fine. So we are almost done. Now the only thing which we are left with is how to customize this part. I want to see it getting reflected in the center. Let's check out how can we do that. So we have made use of this paragraph tag, right, for getting a computer science portal for geeks on this beautiful stage area. Now in order to get it in the center, we guys can make use of this whole thing. Let's copy it and place it over here, and I'm changing it to P. Okay, now this is what you will get to see as an output finally. Why it has not changed? I think I haven't shared the changes. That is the reason they are not visible to us on this bigger window. Now we will get to see the changes I just made. Yes, so this computer science portal for geeks is also now getting reflected right in the center. Fine, so that's how you can create this beautiful pagination thing. Now if you want to make it more beautiful, if you want to make the appearance of this web page more beautiful, in order to make it look more engaging and appealing to the user, what you can do, you can add some animation to this web page. Now how to do that? So the best way is to make use of @keyframes. If you don't know about this particular property, do check out the previous lectures of WebLab I've posted on this Geeks for Geeks school. Definitely you will get to know about this thing in a better way. So for animation things, we can make use of this keyframes attribute, and let's have an animation with name change. So I would like to have something for the background color. So if initially the background color should be, let's say, aqua, okay, and after some time, so for this after some time thing, we need to change the percentage, and let's make it 30%. Fine, and for this part we can have some other background color. How about Bollywood? I think this is going to be a good option. Let's repeat the same step. So have pasted this code and changing the percentage to a percentage higher than the one I've defined in this second step. So 50%. Now after some time, the background color, I would like it to change to let's have this crimson, and then at 70% I would like it to change to, how about dark green? I think this is also a very good option we guys can make use of. And finally I would like to see, let's select something like, okay, dark golden rod. I think this is going to be a beautiful option. It is going to give us a beautiful result. Right, so we are done with defining the required code for the animation. I would like to see happening. Just a second. I want to create some space right in the bottom. Yeah, now it is fine. Okay. Now in order to apply this animation named change on this background of this web page, what you can do, you can make use of this body tag. Okay, and then you can put this animation thing over here. And what is the name of the animation? We just defined the code for. The name of the animation is change. We can copy this whole thing and place it over here. Then after every 4 seconds, we would like to see the change happening for infinite number of times. Let's check out the changes now. So now that's what you will get to see as a result finally when you will access a web page. So the background color is now changing, right? And it is going to happen for infinite times. Why? Because we have passed this infinite over here. If you want to increase the speed of this animation, what you can do, you can reduce the timings to, let's say, how about 1 second. So that's what you will get to see as an output, right? If you don't want to apply it on the body, you just want to apply it on let's say this content part, you just have to cut this code and place it in between these curly brackets. Okay, and that's what you will get to see as an output finally. So now it is looking much more beautiful, isn't it? So that's what we were supposed to design in this lecture. Let's open it up on a bigger window and check out the final output. Okay, so this is what you are going to get as an output on a bigger window. Now if you want to add some more animation like transform animation to this Geeks for Geeks, how can you do that? For doing that, we can again make use of this @keyframes tag. So I'm going to remove this body. Let's paste this keyframes over here. And now I would like to define a unique name for the animation, for which I will be defining the CSS code now in between these curly brackets. So let's have a name like this, 𝙎𝙤𝙘𝙞. Okay, and then we can make use of this keyword from. So I would like the size to get transformed. So initially it should be, let's say, 0.8, and after some time, that is 2, it should change to the scale of the component on which I will be applying this 𝙎𝙤𝙘𝙞 named animation should change to 1.2, right? Okay, now how to apply this animation on this Geeks for Geeks? That's what we have to think. What we can do, we can copy this whole thing and we can place it over here inside these curly brackets. Okay, now when you'll refresh the page, that's what you are going to get as an output. If you want to change the animation, you just have to copy this animation for which we have defined this CSS code and place it in place of this change named animation. I got disconnected. Okay. What is the code we have defined right now is going to give us on a bigger window as a final result. Let's check out that too. So that's what you will get to see as a final output. So the scale of this Geeks for Geeks is going to change like this, and the background color of this division section is going to change like this, and it is going to happen for infinite number of times. Okay, and you will be able to see these changes also over here. When you will bring the cursor on this division section, we have defined for the pagination components. Fine, so that's how you can create a beautiful pagination web page. Hope you guys enjoyed this lecture a lot. Do like and share this video in your groups and make it reach to the maximum students possible. Also, I would like to tell you that from tomorrow onwards, we are going to begin with Thunkable. So if you want to learn that platform, you can join me in between 8 to 9 and enjoy those coding classes I'm going to provide you guys for that Thunkable platform, on which we can do block based coding and create different kind of responsive real-time mobile applications. So hope to see you guys soon. Thank you very much for joining me in this tutorial. Have a great day. Bye bye.